Mucha atención a las declaraciones de Vladimir Putin relacionadas con la guerra en Ucrania tras haber enviado un ataque de más de 500 drones y 40 misiles hipersónicos. La venganza absoluta, así la llama Finlandia y la alianza de la OTAN, indicando que Vladimir Putin va a por todas y que jugar con él podría ser una auténtica desgracia para el territorio europeo. Vamos a escucharlo, atención.
The agenda of today's Security Council meeting includes issues of improving state policy in the sphere of protecting traditional spiritual and moral values. The topic is extremely significant and relevant. It is directly related to ensuring Russia's sovereignty and national interests, strengthening security, harmony and stability in society, and solving important issues such as national conservation, demographic development, and the education of young generations. It also ensures the continuity of our development as a state, nation, and society. Traditional values are the moral guidelines laid down by our ancestors over the centuries. They form the basis of our civilization and identity, providing support for individuals and families. They shape our culture and sovereign worldview, resisting attempts to impose someone else's will on us. The values that define us include unity among the Russian peoples, a commitment to truth and justice, mercy, humanism, strong families, and a love for children. It is about mutual assistance and striving not only for personal well-being, but also for the success of the entire country. And, of course, it is patriotism and devotion to the motherland. These values fueled the creative energy and inspired the great achievements of our ancestors. Today, they serve as a foundation for us, guiding the development of the education and upbringing system so that our children and teenagers deeply understand that being a citizen means knowing and respecting the history of the country, not betraying one's roots.
Como podemos estar comprobando en las imágenes, Vladimir Putin ya está comprobando y confirmando el hecho de que los niños rusos tienen sobre todo que respetar a su país desde la escuela. Se entiende que por lo tanto llevarán a cabo un protocolo para los propios menores desde que son niños, sobre todo para respetar y para que no hayan revoluciones internas. Se entiende que esto es lo que estaría planteando Vladimir Putin.
And working for loved ones, small homeland and fatherland, taking responsibility for their future. I am sure that we have a generation that understands the concepts of freedom and responsibility. It is a generation capable of increasing the country's socio-economic, scientific, and cultural potential. It is a generation that strives to move forward and achieve success, and that does not separate its destiny from Russia's. At the same time, we see that in today's world, the value and meaning space is subject to fierce competition. There is a fierce competition, an aggressive struggle for influence on people's minds. Traditional values are often declared obsolete and archaic, while neoliberal models, which are essentially totalitarian in practice, are being promoted. Not only are they persistently implemented in a number of Western countries, they are also actively exported and imposed all over the world. The reason is clear. Having deprived peoples of their values and sovereignty makes it easier to subjugate them and turn them into vassals. Therefore, it is important to counter attempts to impose attitudes that destroy our values on our citizens, especially young people.
И смысловое пространство подвергается жесткой конкуренции. Там идет жесткая конкуренция.
We must respond firmly to any challenges that provoke inter-ethnic and inter-religious conflicts. At the same time, we must realize that individual bans and attempts to isolate ourselves from the global information system and space are completely ineffective in today's world. We need to consistently and actively promote our values, form our humanitarian and cultural meanings that are in demand both in the country and around the world. Clearly, it is important to continue developing a systematic state policy for the long term to preserve and protect traditional values, and to include relevant sections and sets of measures in the strategic planning documents currently being developed for this purpose. Additionally, legislative and regulatory legal acts aimed at protecting traditional values must be improved.
Bueno, pues como podemos comprobar en las imágenes, en este speech, este comunicado de Vladimir Putin, deja muy claro una cosa, en este caso el hecho de que se está preparando un conflicto mucho mayor de lo que nos imaginamos en el mundo y sobre todo Rusia no afloja. Putin estaría alertando al mundo tras este envío de 300 misiles a Ucrania, tal y como han confirmado recientemente. 300 misiles, por cierto, en los que ahora también se ha podido estar comprobando cómo la situación está cada vez más complicada en el país. Y mucha atención porque este comunicado también ha hecho entender a los aliados de la OTAN que la cosa se está complicando y cada vez más. Mientras tanto, como decimos, el propio Lavrov al mismo tiempo ha estado asegurando que la situación podría ser cada vez peor, sobre todo teniendo en cuenta que los aliados, como por ejemplo Bielorrusia, también estarían optando por el hecho de llevar a cabo un ataque total contra Polonia, y recientemente ya se ha podido comprobar que los polacos están preparando en el campo de batalla. Vamos a seguir escuchando a Vladimir Putin lo que tiene que comentar. Atención.
Troops which filled this common holiday of ours with the spirit of combat brotherhood in arms, and I was glad to thank the commanders of the Korean People's Army and give my best regards to the special troops of the Korean Democratic Republic of Korea troops who helped us in good faith to liberate the border areas of the Kursk region from the occupation of the Kiev regime. They demonstrated courage and heroism, and they were highly professional, showing a great deal of mastery and preparedness. And definitely it was a privilege for all the leaders to welcome the main heroes of the victory. I mean the veterans of the Second World War from Russia, Israel, Armenia, Mongolia. I'd like to note that despite the...
Atención, porque también están enviando, como dice Putin, el ejército de Mongolia, haciendo entender también que las alianzas de Vladimir Putin, pasando por Venezuela, también China, cada vez son más fuertes.
And blackmails and handicaps and hindrances, including blocking airways. Some of the leaders of European countries have arrived from Serbia, Slovakia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and others. We know how hard they were pressed, so this is why we really sincerely appreciate their courage and their adamant position and their decision to pay homage together with us to the heroes of the Second World War, the Great Patriotic War, who fought for their homeland and who fought to liberate and rid the entire humanity of the brown plague without any overstatement. Millions of Europeans and the leaders of countries that pursue sovereign policies remember that instills optimism and hope that sooner or later, including building upon the lessons of history and the sentiment of our peoples, we will start moving towards restoring constructive relations with these countries of Europe, including those who today still stick to the anti-Russian rhetoric and blatantly aggressive action against us. And
fijaros que esto, Vladimir Putin prácticamente está tomando notoriedad sobre el conflicto del racismo antirruso. A eso se refiere él, sobre todo cuando da estas pautas y las está, como decimos, enviando y teniendo muy en consideración. ¿Qué es lo que opináis de todo este tema? Dejad los comentarios. Como siempre, nos vemos en el próximo capítulo, amigos. Hasta luego.